Good morning, everyone, and may we please begin with a moment of silence. And now the flag will be lowered to half-mast. Good morning again, and thanks to all those who have come out this morning to attend our annual memorial ceremony. I'd like to begin by introducing local officials who have joined us here this morning on this solemn occasion. Broome County Executive Debbie Preston, Deputy County Executive John Bernardo, Chairman of the County Legislature Jerry Marinich, Chris Whalen, Communications Director for Assemblywoman Lepardo, Broome County Legislator Kelly Wildowner, Broome County Legislator Jason Garner, Town of Dickinson Supervisor Michael Marinaccio, Town of Shenango Supervisor Hal Snopek, representing the Broome County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Benjamin Harting, Raymond Sorowick, Broome County's Emergency Medical Services Coordinator. Did I miss any other public officials who snuck in while I wasn't looking? I'd also like to welcome and thank Dave Hubney, our bagpiper, for his music during today's ceremony. Often when we gather on our beautiful campus, it's for a joyous occasion. Moving day at the Student Village, Convocation Day, commencement, which isn't exactly on campus. But today, however, sadly our community gathers for a solemn occasion, remembering the attacks of September 11, 2001. And all those who lost their lives in the World Trade Center, in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and at the Pentagon. It's hard to believe that day, which started off with such a beautiful sky and ended so tragically 14 years ago this very day. We remember those who lost their lives, those who were simply heading to work just as they did every day, as we did this morning, and those who were on the airplanes traveling home or to work far away or to other destinations, maybe just for vacation. There are more than names on a memorial, much more than that terrible event which claimed their lives. They were mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, with families, dreams, passions, just like those of us gathered here today. This is what made it such a horrific act of terrorism and started the unconventional war on terrorism that so sadly continues to this very day. So today we remember their families. We also remember the survivors and witnesses to that terrible day, whose lives, as with all of us, were changed forever. We remember the firefighters and police officers who responded to the events without hesitation, many of whom lost their lives in service to their community. We remember the sons and daughters of our community who went to fight later in Afghanistan and Iraq in the conflicts that ensued, and others around the world fighting terrorism. We remember because what is remembered lives. It lives in our hearts and in our history. It has become part of who we are as a people and a nation. And now I'd like to call on our County Executive, Debbie Preston, for a few words.
Thank you, President Drumm. I think that most of us here remember where we were that day, the solemn day of 2001. And as we remember where we are, we never forget. Where yesterday, we might not remember where we were yesterday, but we never forget where we were on that day. As President Drumm said, it's changed our lives forever, in our country, our county, our state, and we never forget. And that's the key, that we never, ever forget. Our hearts, our prayers go out for the families and the survivors. And the one thing is that some say that we've recovered, but I don't know that we've ever really truly recovered, or that we ever will. But as long as we remember, that's all we can ask. And at this time, I just want to say God bless Broome County, and God bless the United States of America, that this never happens to us again. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Executive. It's hard to believe, but many of our students were only toddlers when 9/11 occurred. My son was in the womb. For those of us who are a bit older, 9/11 was a landmark event. The Pearl Harbor of our generation. Most of us can remember, as the county executive just mentioned, where we were when we learned about or witnessed the events of that day. I was actually, ironically, at a meeting with the executive director of the World Affairs Council of Western Massachusetts. I was on the board then. It's encouraging that so many young people today are willing to dedicate their lives to the well-being and safety of their fellow citizens, whether through the military or as a first responder. You see that in our programs here in criminal justice, firefighting, and paramedics, where the first responders of tomorrow are being trained, and it's one of our largest programs at the college and indeed among community colleges across the nation. Thank you to all of our first responders here with us this morning and across this great country. Please join me in thanking all of our first responders. Again, I'd like to thank everyone, our campus community, and our honored guests for coming out on this day to honor our fallen. And I invite you back later this fall for our annual Veterans Day commemoration. The price of freedom is never free, and 9/11 is an occasion to remember just how costly it is to a nation. God bless us all, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you all. Make it a great day while we never forget.